Oh, okay, somebody get a video. Yeah. Somebody get that. Somebody get a video. Hunter, you got that?
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's going right behind the mountains. What the fudge? What is?
What the fuck are those? Holy shit.
Alright, hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. What in the hell just entered our atmosphere last night? All these videos that you've seen and that are continuing to come out making waves throughout the online community has got everybody wondering just what was coming into our atmosphere, and the reports are widespread. But no one seems to be able to be giving us an answer. Now, some of the clips that you just saw were courtesy of a Mr. Matt Holt, who shot the video with the large group of people in Utah who saw these objects up close. Got a great video of these things. You're seeing some other videos from Las Vegas, Los Angeles. Virtually the entire West Coast saw these things enter. And again, we are not getting a straight answer. This had nothing to do with NASA, we know that. We also know that these mysterious lights streaking across the sky, some of which viewers have emailed me and said were definitely not meteors. Whatever this was, it wasn't meteors. And to further corroborate that, the National Weather Service has come out and confirmed that the incident was not weather related. It doesn't seem to be meteors or anything like that. Some people are coming out and saying it could be space junk. Other people are coming out and saying that it is the rockets from a secret Chinese spy satellite. And there's probably a handful of other possibilities that different news sources and outlets are citing. So really, everybody at this point is just guessing. I even saw this on my local news not that long ago, and they were talking about it. And again, they did nothing but speculate, and they have no idea, but what we do have is all of these videos. Now, in certain videos, we see these objects burning up with 40 to 50 objects on fire streaking through the sky. In other videos, we see 2 large objects. Now, these may be the same objects just captured earlier. Other people have emailed me who saw these things and said that when looking at these objects up close after they burned out, some said that they saw these objects maneuvering. No bullshit. After these objects burned up in the atmosphere, I have had eyewitness viewers saying, we saw this thing. I got one, let's see, from Utah. I got another one from Los Angeles, San Francisco, who have all stated that these things did not look like meteors, one, and they did not look like space junk. He said it looked like vehicles entering the atmosphere. Now, whether it was some sort of government cover-up or black project or just something that they don't want us to know about, I would be very wary about what you are told in terms of an official story. Because as we know, there is always an official story. So until we have some definitive proof that it was, say, space junk or a Chinese rocket booster, until I get a video showing pieces of a Chinese rocket booster or space junk that would conclusively prove what this thing was, I am going to stick to we don't know, because we don't know. So if you saw this and you have more videos or images of it, or if you saw the things closer, please do email me. This is a mass sighting, and again, it doesn't seem to be planned. These things, whatever they were, just came streaking through the atmosphere, and it was kind of creepy. Like you see at the beginning of some of these alien invasion movies. It always starts out with a couple objects streaking into the atmosphere. Everybody's looking up saying, wow, what is that? Little do they know, it's something a little bit more sinister. But again, it's a cool sight, but it's just strange that we're really not getting an official story yet, or at least a cover story yet. We're not even getting that. We're not getting any answers. So it seems like whoever controls the media, it seems as if they're almost trying to still concoct whatever official story to go with this sighting. So again, I'll keep my ears open, and I'll be the first to post it to Twitter once we find out what it is. So very strange. Now, something also strange on the West Coast. I was emailed by a viewer the other night who was watching the traffic camera from the local KTVU Channel 2 News in San Francisco, the weather cam, showing this beautiful view of the Bay Area Bridge as well as San Francisco in the background, and he noticed a massive object that was sitting very high above the tallest skyscrapers in San Francisco, just sitting there, and you're seeing that now, so check this out.
Channel 2 News all the time, and I sit and wait and what the fuck is this in the sky? There's fucking lights and shit at the bottom moving and all the shit, and it's over the fucking bridge and shit, over the goddamn water. This is one of Channel 2 KTVU cameras on top of the building, and these lights are fucking crazy, excuse my French, but do you see the lights glowing at the bottom? It's like they're strobing.
So again, as you just saw, this is not any part of a building. I've checked images of the area, and of course we have a source from the area who is pretty adamant that this is not a part of the city, and it would seem that there was something sitting in the sky. Now, I for one am not sure if this was directly over San Francisco, because if it was, this thing would be massive and we'd have a million videos and images hitting the web. However, what I am thinking is obviously this was something much closer to the camera, possibly out over the bay, that just happened to be caught on the camera while this viewer was watching, grabbed his video camera and began recording, obviously quite shocking him. And again, this is a longtime San Francisco area resident. Let me know what you guys think. The lights on this thing, it definitely looks like a square object with some lights on the corners. And again, we have this sort of strobe light down here in the middle. Now, here I want to show you a quick set of images that were captured by a viewer who was monitoring the International Space Station's live feed from space, who witnessed an object that seemed to be sitting in the darkness near the ISS, or at least behind it. Here is the first image. There's actually two images here, and then a capture of the blue screen. So the feed did go out directly as this object began appearing. And so as you're seeing here in this first frame, we begin to see this object appear in the darkness. I'll circle it here so you can see the point of reference that I want you to check out. And it's almost as if this thing began to be slightly illuminated by the sun. Maybe it was coming close to the ISS from far away, and that's when it became visible to the camera. But nonetheless, you see the object beginning to appear. Let's go on to the next frame. Here is the next frame here where the object is definitely beginning to take some shape. And then the last frame is the blue screen. So the feed was cut directly after this. And we'll go ahead and go back to the last shot showing the object before the feed was cut. And here is a contrast and brightness enhanced version. And this object almost looks triangular in shape. And we'll go ahead and show you an inverted version here, trying to get the best shot possible of this thing. Again, this reminds me, this is not the first time that we've caught a triangular object near the ISS. Now, do you guys remember this image here? A lot of you who are new to the channel may not. But way back, I think it was in 2013 or 14. Yeah, 2014, I think it was. One of the very first UFO captures on the ISS live stream was featured here by yours truly on the Secure Team channel, where this object that you're seeing here, this very alien-looking triangular object, appeared in the background near the ISS before slowly beginning to fade away into the darkness, at which point NASA cut the feed once again. And you can find that video. It's one of our earlier videos. You can find it. I'll dig it up and I'll post the link down in the video description if you have not yet seen it. But back to this image again, we have this triangular object that seems to be appearing. And kudos to the fan who sent it in. There's a lot of stuff happening up there in space. A lot of it, NASA will try to cut the feed. You see, NASA is kind of torn, because they have to have these live cameras up there. I mean, they're a public institution and are supposed to be transparent. So on the one hand, they have these live cameras. On the other hand, when these anomalous objects appear, the best that they can do is try to see them quick enough before we do and cut the feed. And then they say, well, the feed was just lost. It's completely normal. And it's kind of been a juggling act. This is how it has gone on over the past few years. And a lot more people are watching now, so I think NASA is trying to be a lot more careful. We've been seeing the feed being cut a lot faster when these things appear. So I guarantee you, though, they'll never be as fast as some of you eagle-eyed guys out there. I know that for sure. Again, let me know what you guys think. Now, here is something very interesting caught during an MSNBC broadcast of something flying behind the broadcasters. So check this out.
In the room. Well, that's one thing I noticed. There was an exuberance and happiness, and maybe Democrats. Well, it wasn't all that. Well,
Alright, so sent in by a viewer who was watching this. He saw something pass behind, and this was captured. It was pretty late, so the city behind them was pretty empty. Besides a few protesters and people there who were watching the news anchors do their thing, there really wasn't anyone out there. And when we show you this thing close up, it does not really look like a drone. It's definitely not a reflection or anything like that, because when you watch this thing as many times as I have, you can tell it's definitely coming from in the TV. It's flying back behind the news anchor's head, and its movements are very strange. Some have said that this is what we call RODS, R-O-D-S. But again, this thing looks pretty big. It's pretty fast, and it at least looks like it's moving with some purpose. But again, I'll leave it up to you guys. Nonetheless, very strange. If it were a drone, I would not believe that it would be allowed near these news anchors. There's a lot of security during the Democratic National Convention, and I highly doubt that they would have allowed drones to be operated anywhere in the vicinity of this area. Now, lastly, I want to show you an image that was actually submitted to MUFON, and it comes from a professional photographer in the greater Philadelphia area who captured what looks like a possible cloaked UFO, or a UFO that is surrounded by some sort of cloaking tech. Captured on July 15th at approximately 9:15 p.m., the photographer captured this odd green object with sort of a halo around it, this glow, if you will, moving through the sky. He was taking sort of a long exposure of the moon and the stars. You can see that here. And he caught this object. So it's very strange. It was featured on UFO Sightings Daily, submitted to MUFON for their investigation. Maybe they'll be able to uncover what it is. but I was hoping maybe someone over the Philadelphia area had seen this thing in Bucks County, again on July 15th at about 9:15 p.m. So let me know what you guys think. This was captured, and the source of the photo's website is actually at the bottom of this image here. That's stwbphotography.com. So big thanks to the photographer, and again, very, very strange. Some strange things happening in the skies. It brings us back to this new sighting, things coming into our atmosphere, and we'll hopefully have some updates for you very, very soon. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to stick around because I've got a lot more coming. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, people, because I'm constantly talking and chatting with you guys on Facebook and Twitter. Links down in the video description. I'm constantly posting updates to when I'm working on a video or when I'm going to be having a new video up, as well as posting other pieces of information, updates, and so on. So connect with me on social media. Email me if you have your own footage, and stick around because I've got a lot more coming. Stay safe, guys.